Welcome to 90s Movie Yoga. Thank you for being here. We're going to come into a nice comfortable seat. This week we will be doing some poses inspired by the movie You've Got Mail. Okay, do something now to make yourself 5% more comfortable, whatever that might be. So if it's adjusting something, picking your shoulders up, rolling your neck, whatever that might be, coming into that comfortable seat finally. So You've Got Mail is in the fall in New York, and it centers around Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. They're both book owners, and one owns that big box store, Fox Books. That's Tom Hanks. And Meg Ryan, she owns the shop around the corner, the adorable bookstore that's been there forever and was owned by her mom. So just picture yourself now in the fall of New York, those orange leaves beginning to come in. You can feel that breeze in the air. And just reach back, kind of rocking back on those tailbones. And then rocking forward. And once more, rocking back. Exhale. Inhale as you lean forward. And then exhale back. And then find that happy middle. Beautiful. And so as we come in here, let's take a moment also for this to be about you. So as we come in here and we're going to start thinking about that fun movie, also just let go of wherever you came from, whatever came before this, and just come on into this New York moment. Thank you for being here. All right, so lifting up those arms with a nice inhale, reaching all the way to the ceiling, feeling those sits bones reaching down below you, and then exhale here. Releasing those shoulder blades just into your back, letting them fall back there. Beautiful. Inhale up one more time, and then exhale, we'll cactus those arms. Gorgeous. Now this week we're gonna put our hands, you can bring your hands all the way down to your sides, put your legs out in front of you. And you can flex your feet and then point your feet, and flex your feet and then point your feet. So as we're here, we're gonna take our right foot up to our left knee and keeping that nice straight flat back. I'll turn this way, and boom. And this music is just giving. It reminds me of the cafe, which is of course on 83rd Street, Cafe Lalo. So inhaling up, we're gonna reach our hands all the way up, and then as we exhale, twisting to the right, hooking that left elbow on the right knee, and then bending into that stretch, looking toward that wall on the opposite side. Inhale, sort of knitting up through the center, and then as you exhale, deeper bend into the stretch, letting your head fall into it. Gorgeous. Inhale one more time, knitting up through the center, nice long back, pressing into that knee, and then exhale, deeper into the stretch. Gorgeous. Inhale, reaching your arms through center, all the way up to the ceiling. Gorgeous. And then exhale, bringing that right leg down, bringing the left leg up, and then exhale, twisting to the left now, hooking that right elbow to the left knee and pressing into that first finger and thumb of the left hand. Big bend in that left elbow as you twist. And then inhale, knitting up through the center. And so as the movie opens, we get to see a little bit of Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan with their current partners. So Tom Hanks is dating Parker Posey, and Meg Ryan is dating Greg Kinnear. And they're all sort of in this literary book world. and they like know of each other, and it's very cute. And we learn all sorts of things, and we see her adorable apartment on the Upper West Side. So taking one more inhale, knitting up through that center, and then exhale, deepening that bend into the stretch, letting your head come with it. So we see them kind of waking up, which is what we're doing with our bodies right now. And then we are going to inhale, bring those arms through center. Exhale, bringing that left leg out to meet the right. And then take that final inhale, reaching up. Exhale, pulling that energy down on both sides of you, feeling that wake up just like they both do. I think we see Parker posing, and she's jumping on Tom Hanks, and she has her little espresso, and he's like, she makes coffee nervous. It's a lot from her, but we love it. So let's take a big inhale here, and then exhale, reaching, folding forward at those hips, and then reaching as far as you can, wherever that is. And then either pulling on those toes, pulling on your ankles, maybe pulling on your legs, whatever that is, and letting your head go. Inhale, reaching, kind of pulling wherever you are, halfway up, flat back, and then exhale, coming down, folding at those hips, feeling that beautiful energy that is you, that beautiful fall, all those colors coming alive. We're bending right at that sacral center. Say hello, thank you for being here. And say thank you to yourself for being here. Awesome. So then we get to meet all the other people in the characters' lives. So we get to go into the bookshop, Meg Ryan's bookshop, and see Steve Zahn, and I forget the actress's name, and Birdie, sort of the older women that work there, and they get to see her beautiful world and this beautiful small world of books, and how she's cultivated this community there. So, but before that, as she's getting to the bookshop, she stops at Starbucks, and we have this amazing cranberries like montage with them sort of crossing paths and all of it, New York sort of opening up. So in that flavor of things, let's imagine that we're on the streets of New York, and we're going to start at the bottom. We're going to sweep our legs around, as I love to do, and come into that tabletop position. So I noticed last week that my knees could definitely have been a little bit more under me. So I'm doing that adjustment. Shoulders over wrists, knees are over hips. Kind of wiggle those hips. I'm going to scoot it back. Hey, what's up? You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Damn it. All right. So pressing into that first finger and the thumb, those biceps are going out. You can press into the tops of your feet as well. And then activate that core, and you get that nice flat back right away. Then reaching that spine in both directions. Do you see how that creates that beautiful tabletop? Beautiful. Inhale, stretch that heart forward. Here we are in this lovely cow. And then exhale, letting the spine lead you, the top of the head lead you, and the bottom of the spine, forming that gorgeous cat. So you're like a cat waking up on the street, or waking up in someone's home. You don't have to wake up on the street, but you're taking a walk, or you're watching other things walk, I suppose. Inhale, stretching forward, and then exhale, letting that spine lead you, really pushing those biceps out. We'll take one more here. Inhale, reaching that spine in opposite directions. Now pushing those biceps out. Gorgeous. And then exhale. One last time. Gorgeous cat-cow. So from here, we're going to bring our toes together, knees as wide as the mat, and reach. Kind of walk those hands. You can bring them down to forearms first, and then walk them all the way out. Extended child's pose, bringing that head to the mat. We all need to do our little breakfast, our coffee, whatever it is, our morning routine. And sometimes that can involve a little rest, maybe a moment to sit down if we're lucky. So inhaling here, kind of bringing our fingers into, we're just going to lift our hands up onto our fingertips like we have something underneath them. And then exhale, relax into that pose. Some mornings it's harder to get up. And then we're going to inhale and walk our hands back, coming into our tabletop once more, pressing into our first finger, our thumb and first finger. And then we're going to stretch that right leg back, pressing into those toes, reaching that heel toward the opposite wall, pressing into those hands onto that right foot, and then picking up our left foot, pressing into that heel as well, feeling almost like we're going to take off. So now you can imagine that awesome cranberries, just vibes behind you. They are walking to Starbucks. We have our coffee, and we're going to inhale, sort of push off on those toes, and then slowly come down. Tuck in those elbows. Come all the way down to the mat. Forehead's coming to the mat. Exhale. Inhale, pressing up, baby cobra. Shine that heart forward. You can even lift those toes off the mat if that feels good. High. Then exhale. Hips to the ceiling. Untuck those toes. Downward facing dog. Pressing into that first finger, into that pinky. Letting your head go. And breathe. Maybe walking through that down dog. And then we learn about Tom Hanks and his life. And we get to see his father and his grandfather, who knew Meg Ryan's grandmother. We kind of learn about them, and we see his two, like, sort of adorable nephew and then, like, aunt or something. And then we get to see that he's trying to run her out of business. All right, so for this, he's being kind of a pigeon because they're like a nuisance in New York. So I want to do a pigeon pose. So take this right foot, bring it forward. Your left foot is behind you. Before we do our pigeon, we're going to come up into that beautiful triangle that we did last week. So our toes, our right foot toes are facing the top of the mat. Left toes are facing that top left corner. And then we can have blocks at our side. Feeling that energy already, pressing into the side of that back foot, kind of pressing up into that side and feeling that energy come all the way up. So now we're going to inhale, reaching up into this beautiful triangle. Just like that. Exhale, cactusing those arms down. Gorgeous. Inhale, reaching up, walking that left foot to meet the right, turning right around, and bringing that left foot forward this time. Right foot behind, left toes are toward the top of the mat, right are toward the top right corner. Pressing into the back of that right heel this time. And then exhale, coming all the way down. Exhale here. Pressing into the outer reaches of that right foot, into the heel, and then feeling that energy come up and over. Inhale, coming all the way up once more. And then exhale, right here, keeping those arms up. Inhale, bringing those arms, pulling that energy down at your sides. Gorgeous. So from here, we're going to come into our pigeon. So we're going to take this left foot first. We're going to take the right foot. We're going to take our hands right by this left foot, framing that left foot. The right leg is long behind. And stretching that right leg out nice and long, bringing our knee to the mat, untucking those toes. And then folding our right leg, heel to our right hip. And coming nice and slow, bringing that left hip down to the mat. Coming into our pigeon, wherever that is. So your heel can be all the way in at your, more toward your groin. It can be at your hip. It can be straight across. You just want to feel that stretch on that left side. Pressing gently with your air. Yeah, so Tom Hanks is being sort of a pigeon at this point. And the pigeons are just like the most annoying birds in New York. And so he's being super annoying because he's just caring about money, and he is not caring about books, and he is not at all caring about anything. But all this while, they are getting letters. They're getting "You've Got Mail." Don't forget. So they're sort of having this like secret online romance, of course. And exhaling now, coming lower into your pigeon if you would like. Scoot back so you can see me. Whoops, I got a little knee movement there. Ouch. But I'm okay. So coming into this and then pressing down, rolling onto that left hip. Giving yourself love and lots of air. Breathe. Beautiful. So yes, he is just really being a pigeon. And while they're having their secret romance where he's showing his real self, which is like, of course, adorable and charming and like the perfect person. So they sort of plan to meet up, and he knows who she is because they have gone to this party, IRL, and they met each other at the party. And so hold on, pause on that. We're going to press up into our hands. Untuck those right toes, pressing onto those palms, taking that left foot back, pressing into the left toes now, lifting the right leg, that right heel to left hip. Left leg is out long behind you, untucking those left toes, and then slowly, with your exhale, rolling onto that right hip, pressing those biceps out. Beautiful. So they go to this party, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's like a book party. I mean, never has there been so much attention to book publishing, like in forever. That's how you know it's the 90s, like, hello. So they go to this book publishing party, and while they're there, there's like caviar on the side of this like weird looking egg dish. And she's like, "It's a garnish." And he's like, "No," and scoops it all onto the plate. I love that part. And that's when Greg Kinnear and Parker Posey also meet. Taking an exhale here, we're going to come down a little bit farther if you can. Inhale, reach forward, press into those palms, and then exhale. Allowing those shoulders to relax, rolling onto that right side, and breathe. You can come all the way down if you'd like. And breathe. And Greg Kinnear and Parker Posey at this party start to sort of click, if you will. Greg Kinnear is sort of like this esoteric, obtuse writer for the Times, and she's like an agent or something like that. And so she's like interested in publishing his book, or I don't know. And so they sort of click and are clinking glasses and just revving each other up. And he types on a typewriter, and oh my God. So he decides, so they decide they're going to meet up. Then, Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks decide they're going to meet up. And, you know, via the email, so they don't know it's each other. So we're going to meet at Cafe Lalo. So one more, pressing that heart forward. We're going to pause this story there. And then pressing into those palms, untuck the left foot, press into those palms, and then reach that right foot back. And now we're going to do a little bit of walking out those legs. I'm going to walk forward a little bit, but just kind of bending in the leg, pressing that left heel back. Keep the biceps out. Keep that spine nice and long. Activate that core. And then press back with the right. Exhale, breathe. Inhale as you come up. Activate that core. And then exhale. And then we'll press on in. Those hips to the ceiling. Bring in the toes just a bit. Keep them as wide as the mat. Pressing into those heels. Keeping the palms as wide as the mat as well. Pressing into those biceps. Downward facing dog. Awesome. You're doing so amazing. Great. So he goes to Cafe Lalo and he sees that it's Kathleen Kelly. Oh my God. And he's like, oh my God, she's so adorable. I love her, but I professionally hate her. Oh my God, what am I going to do? So from this point on, we know what Tom Hanks knows, but we know that Meg Ryan doesn't know it, and we wonder how much she senses it, etc. So this time we're going to look toward top of our mat, hop, skip, and jump your feet there, and then we're going to slowly roll on up. Bringing our hands all the way to the top, and then pulling our energy down, just like Tom Hanks had to do. He was like so freaked out. And then he had to just be like, okay, Tadasana, mountain pose. I have to talk to Dave Chappelle and find out what to do next. So they like argue out front. And then he decides, okay, I don't know what to do next. I'm just going to go forward. But she kind of comes to him and says, my business is in trouble. And he says, go to the mattresses. So that is warrior one. We are going to go to the mattresses with our warrior one. So facing, let's see, the top of your mat, you're going to reach that your right foot forward, just like we did for Trikonasana, triangle pose. And we're going to come to this warrior one, which is what Kathleen Kelly has to do. So sticking your foot here, then we're going to, stepping forward with your right foot, toes pointed toward the top of the mat. Your left foot reaches back behind you. The toes of that left foot are pointed toward the upper left corner, about 45 degrees. Then you're going to inhale, reaching forward, big bend in that front leg, standing up so you're in your triangle, and then coming forward with that right leg. So if you wanted to come into it right away, that's cool. If you want to take that triangle and then come into it, that's also cool. So from here, feel just pressing in. If you want to adjust your left leg, open it a bit, that's cool. But press into the outer edges of that left foot, pressing into the toe of your right foot. And we don't want the knee to go too far over the toe. Okay, so keep that in line. Then reaching up, warrior, go, take that to the mattresses. Excellent. Inhale, and then bringing those hands to heart center. Beautiful. Inhale here, one more warrior one. And then coming all the way down, hands around that right foot, stepping back with the right, bringing the left to meet the right. They can be right next to each other, or maybe a little bit shoulder width apart. Coming into that plank pose. Gorgeous. Then inhale here, shifting forward, keeping those elbows nice and tucked as you come down to the mat. Exhale here. Inhale, pressing into those palms, baby cobra. Exhale, flip those toes, hips to the ceiling. Adjust those feet, pull those heels down, downward facing dog. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, you're amazing. Okay, inhale here. And exhale, bending each knee, walking that dog. Inhale, look toward the top of the mat. And hop, skip, or jump to get there. Slowly coming up. Tadasana, mountain pose. So we're going to do that. We're going to go take it to the mattresses on this other side as well. So turning to the other side of our mat, you can take that left foot forward this time. Left toes are facing toward the top of the mat. Right foot reaches out behind you. Right toes toward the right upper corner of the mat. Reaching forward and taking a nice bend into that left leg, warrior one. Excellent. Feeling those hips underneath you, kind of sinking into that, pressing into that outer side of that right foot, pressing into those toes, checking your alignment, and pressing those hips forward. Exhale here. Gorgeous. Exhale all the way down, hands around that left foot. Turn that right foot so it's behind you. Bring that left foot to meet, pressing into plank pose. Excellent. Beautiful. Inhale here. Coming down, keeping those elbows nice and tucked. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, flip those toes, hips to the ceiling, downward facing dog. Yay. We are flowing. We are flowing, 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 flowing. Beautiful. So also during this time, Frank, which is Greg Kinnear, writes an article about her shop so they get a lot of attention. Look to the top of your mat. Hop those feet there. You can take a walk if you'd like. Inhale, reaching all the way up, holding that energy down at our sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. So reach your arms forward with a nice big inhale, feeling those shoulders behind you, space in your neck, and then exhale, straight down. So you're sending those hips straight behind you. You're bending at those hips. It's a 90-degree angle in your, or as close to as you can get in that seat, but the bum is right out behind you, okay? Reaching those hands forward and then down to heart center. Okay, so he sits there and he types this article and he's like, you are a lone read. You are a lone read, Catherine. Beautiful. You guys are doing amazing. Remember to breathe. Inhale, and we're going to twist to the left here. Pressing into those palms. Reaching out, press into those palms. Find space in that neck. Press into that leg. Exhale here. Let that head go. Beautiful. Inhale, coming into heart center. Deeper into that seat. Inhale, reaching those arms up. Yes, you got this. Bringing those hands to heart center. Turning, twisting to the left this time. Pressing into those palms. Pressing up, finding space. Exhale. Beautiful. And breathe. Inhale, coming back to heart center. Straightening up. Coming into that beautiful mountain pose, flipping those palms, pulling that energy down, coming into a nice lone read. Beautiful. So from here, Meg Ryan, Kathleen Kelly, it's like becoming Christmas. Greg has written this article and it's gotten her a little bit of attention, but not so much, and she's sort of remembering her mother. It's the holidays. Joni Mitchell is playing, and she remembers how she and her mom used to twirl. So we're going to do sort of a deconstructed twirl. It's like on the cooking shows when they do a deconstructed apple tart. So for this deconstructed twirl, what we are going to do, it's a great way also, just so you know, IRL, that it's a wonderful thing to do sort of before maybe a big meeting or anything where you really want to bring into focus, get sort of lined up with your brain, both sides of your brain lined up. So here we go. We're going to take our hands and we're going to take a big inhale. Reach those hands up, and as we do so, bring all of that weight into your right foot. Okay, we do that for other poses too. For this one, all that weight's in our right foot. We're kind of balancing with that left toe. And then bring that left knee all the way up. So it's now at this 90-degree angle like that. And from here, you can bring it all the way out if you'd like. And then around so that your pinkies are now touching, okay? So it's sort of like a twirl for your legs. It's a little eagle pose. And then we're going to flip our palms, reaching up with our inhale, flip those palms, and then exhale, bending at the waist, reaching forward and all the way down. Exhale. And feel that little twirl in our legs. Everything's kind of lining up. Inhale, reaching those hands up, and then kind of pressing into that right foot, slowly bringing that left leg back up like a crane almost. And sliding it back into place. Excellent. Relaxing those arms. Just taking a beat here. And that's sort of what Meg Ryan is doing that during that time. She's looking at her tree and all the ornaments. It's so gorgeous. Reaching our arms up with a big inhale. Exhale, feeling those shoulder blades come back. Feeling some space in that neck too. Inhale. And picking that right leg up now, 90 degrees. And then you can bring it all the way out if you'd like, and then bringing it around, pinky toe to pinky toe. Reaching all the way up and feeling that twirl, that twist, and that eagle legs. And then reaching up with an inhale, flex those palms. Watching that neck too. Folding at the hips. as we exhale, coming down. Letting go of that neck, pressing into both feet. If you like blocks here or halfway on your legs, that's fine. Inhale, reaching up and feeling that twirl. Bringing our knee back to that 90-degree angle with the right leg. And then slowly down, cactusing those arms. So she still continues to write to her pen pal. And they're getting closer and closer. And he's feeling more and more guilty because he's now put her out of business. And he doesn't know how they're going to be able to continue this relationship or if he's done the right thing, etc. So we're going to come into a warrior 3 for this. It's sort of the humble warrior. Taking that left foot forward, left toe is pointed forward. Right foot is reaching behind with those right toes pointed toward the upper right corner of the mat. And then we're going to take our nice big, we kind of cycle through. We go into this warrior 1. We're going to slowly open into a warrior 2. So keeping those hips underneath you, we want to open them up as much as possible. Open our arms, pressing that heart forward, but not too far. We're not overextended. Kind of keeping that nice length. Our hips are under us. We're pressing into those big toes and looking over that left palm. Gorgeous. From here, we're going to come back into our warrior 1. Exhale. Inhale, flip the palms, and then bring them around. So if you can bring them here, that's great. If you can bring them all the way back into a bind and lower them, that's another option. But they just need to be behind you. So wherever or at your sides is also fine. So bringing them to whatever position that is, and then leading with that heart, reaching up firstly. Inhale, and then exhale. Pressing into that back right foot with control here. Coming all the way down, pressing into those left toes as well. Warrior 3, humble warrior. Inhale, breathe, deepening in the stretch. Inhale, and you can let those arms go to your sides. Keep them where they are. Pressing, come back up into that triangle trikonasana. And then turning on our toes, putting that right foot forward. Our left foot is behind now. Right toes are facing the front. Left toe is facing the upper left corner. Reaching up, bending that right leg, coming into that warrior 1. Opening up into that warrior 2. We're in this warrior flow now. Pressing into those right toes, making sure, that knee is not too far. Pressing into the outer edges of that left foot. Feeling that energy come all the way up and across. Opening those hips, keeping them nice and under you, tailbone under. Your arms are supported from underneath. Release those shoulders. Beautiful. Inhale, pressing into that right foot, reaching forward back into our warrior 1, and then bringing those arms to our hips into a bind behind us. Continuing that exhale all the way down, pressing into the outer edges of that left foot, pressing into the big toe of that right foot, coming all the way down to the side of that right leg, and breathe, letting that head go. Warrior 3, humble warrior. Bringing those hands down to the mat, pressing on up, reaching up into trikonasana. Bringing those legs now right underneath you, kind of walking through. And so at this point, they decide that, well, there's one more actual scene that I want to talk about, and that's where she gets a cold. She gets a cold, and we get to see Tom Hanks be really caring to her. So coming on down to the mat, we're going to come back in, just taking a minute on our sits bones, taking our knees, bringing them in nice and tight, giving herself a nice hug. And she's in the bed, and there's like tissues all around her, and We learn that daisies are her favorite flower. And it's so adorable. He comes and he brings her daisies. And she sort of begins to wonder, is this him? You know, is it okay? I do have a connection with him too, and my person on the email. He's funny too, and my person on the email is funny because they keep sort of meeting up as themselves in real life, and they never actually fixed that Lalo date. Bringing your feet right now underneath behind you. We're going to come all the way down to the mat now. You can come onto those elbows first. Coming all the way down, gorgeous. While you're here, just exhaling and feeling your body on that mat. Moving your knees from side to side. Twisting them to the left. Exhale. Inhale, bringing them to center. And then letting them fall like pages in a book, if you will, to the right. And exhale. Inhale, bringing them to the center one more time. You can bring your knees together in sort of like an activated rest. My ankle is not good here. I apologize. And then we're going to open our arms out, nice and wide. Feeling that chest open, feeling those shoulder blades on the mat. And we're going to do this stretch, which is actually called opening the book. So taking your right hand, inhale, reaching it with tension, with energy, all the way over, trying to reach those left fingertips. And then exhale, dragging that right hand along the left arm, along your chest, and all the way out. We open that page. And then we think, oh, wait a minute, I want to see something on that page. I forgot. So we say, inhale, reaching that left arm up, reaching that energy over to the right, almost to those right foot fingertips. And then exhale, dragging it along that right hand across your chest and opening that book out. Beautiful. Now with our knees here kind of together in this, you know what, maybe if I go this way, nope. Their knees here in this kind of activated rest. So our knees are together and our feet are sort of wider. We can now open our knees up a little bit. And then our hands are at nice and wide, and we're going to exhale. Let those knees fall one more time to the left. And then let your head go in the opposite direction to the right. And just breathe in this supine twist. Letting go. Letting the universe play a part in all of it, right? It's just what Tom and Meg had to do, you know? Inhale, bringing that head and knees to center, and then exhale, letting them fall to the right this time. Head is going to the left, and breathe. You can even put your right ankle on your left knee to sort of push it down a little bit. Or not, whatever's calling you, and just breathe. And so finally Meg Ryan gets over her cold. They like meet up outside and they like share an apple or a peach. I think maybe it's a nectarine. Inhale, bringing those knees up to your chest, rolling from left slowly, cross that back all the way to the right. Exhale. Inhale, take it back, giving yourself a nice massage here. And then inhale, bringing your knees to like a 90-degree angle in front of you. Then we're gonna push them out like this and do mini circles, okay? So inhale, and then exhale, hugging them close. Inhale, exhale, around. Inhale, one more. Exhale. Now let's go the other way, and we're gonna inhale this way, exhale as we push out. Inhale, and you can feel that spine. Exhale on the mat. One more, inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Putting those knees down on the mat And just feeling that, taking a breath here. Letting it all go. Feeling space in your neck and in your head. Turning it to the left and turning it to the right. Just noticing where there might be some tension. Keeping the shoulders there as you do that on the mat. Keeping your shoulders down. Just taking a few breaths. And so finally she decides she is going to meet the man from her pen pal. You know, she's going to meet her pen pal. She can't risk this relationship with Joe Fox because the connection with the pen pal is too real. And if it happens to be the same person, then great, but she has to go with the pen pal because that is her heart. And that's where she's given her heart. And she hasn't really done that with Joe Fox in person. So she decides she's going to meet him. So coming over, we're going to let our knees fall down. We're going to take our left hand, pressing up just by our right shoulder there. Pressing up into this twist. Bringing our knees all the way underneath us, toes together, and coming into that extended child's pose. Bringing that forehead to the mat. And just taking a minute before we do our final pose. It's going to be amazing. One more breath, filling up across the back. Exhale, pressing into those hands. Beautiful. Inhale here, coming all the way up. So our feet are right underneath us. We can tuck those toes in. Bringing our feet underneath us, one after the other. Here we are in a standing forward fold. So take a big bend with those knees. Heel toe the feet out. And then kind of sway side to side. Feel that nice stretch in the back of the hamstrings. Let the head go, not a yes and no. Inhale, bringing those arms up one more time. Flipping the palms. You've been so amazing. Bringing your hands down. Bringing them all the way into heart center. Gorgeous. And now taking all of our weight into the left leg this time. Straightening up through the back. Finding space in that left hip. And we're going to bring our right foot either to our ankle, to our knee. You can bring it all the way up. You can even bring it up here. Whatever you want to do is great. So she goes and meets him in the garden, which is why at 92nd and Riverside Park, and it's amazing. And there's all these beautiful flowers, and Brinkley bounces by, and everything's amazing. So we're doing our tree, the tree of life, the tree of love, reaching all the way up. Relax those shoulders down, pressing into that big toe, pressing into your right foot, bringing those hands to heart center. Inhale, pressing that heart forward. If you'd like to take an extra bit of flowering, you can take that right ankle into your right hand, bringing the thigh right next to you, to your other leg. So you're sort of like in this flamingo. And then you can reach that left arm forward and press into that right palm and reach it back. So you're going like that. Okay? Inhale, coming back in. Bringing those hands to heart center. Sliding that right foot down. Shaking out that left leg. Bringing all the weight into that right side now. Finding some space in that right hip. Space in that whole right side. And then bringing that left ankle to left foot to your right tree stump. Gorgeous, wherever that may be. Reaching up, pressing into those toes. Finding that balance. Giving yourself grace and space. And if you want to take it, here's another way to sort of augment things. You can do it the way I just showed you, or you can bring this one here and reach this hand here and come forward this way into sort of this modified chair. Gorgeous. Coming back up, bringing that left foot flipping that hand, reaching both feet to the floor, walking them out, hands to heart center. One more time, reaching our arms up, feeling those shoulder blades fall back in. We can give ourselves a big hug. Thank you, just like they do at the end of the movie, Tom and Meg. Thank you for being here for You've Got Mail. See you next week.